Hello and welcome back to the Shrouded Eye with me, Bardon. Okay, so we had our first season. We sacrificed someone. Who was it again? It was Hedy, right? Hedy Isofka. Right, let's have a look at there. Yeah, we sacrificed her because she was a swindler. Now, we have a letter. Inquisitor Blackburn reports that an outsider has washed ashore. The villagers want to throw him back into the ocean, but you wonder if his arrival is more than coincidence. Ask the Blackburn to interrogate him. Ignorance will suffer, but... or do you want to watch him? Interrogate... ask... let's see. Let's ask the Blackburn to interrogate him because obedience is kind of down a bit and we need to get that up a little bit. Milos Blackburn reports that the outsider said he came from an island of bone before he died. Ignorance minus 15, House Blackburn approval plus 10. Okay. So ignorance is now in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, 16 ignorance. So ignorance and obedience. And then penitence as well. Penitence will go up when we sacrifice someone. Keep that in mind too. Right, now. So, we need to pick the people for this season. So you guys in charge of ignorance, right? He's ignorant and she's ignorant. Let's begin an inquiry into her and let's inquire about advice. Lacking fervor. Maybe I'll take a nap. Okay. And you can inquire against you or about you. Inquire about advice. Disobedient. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Okay, so fervor is fine at the moment. So we appoint her as an advisor and work on our ignorance. Okay, on to here next. So these guys, these guys we don't want to screw around with. We have to find who's... I think it's him. He's Mr. Fervor, right? Let's begin an inquiry into him for a virtue. He's penitent, so he doesn't have fervor. Now the thing said give me the artist, right? Right, we're going to appoint him because we don't know who else really to go with. So let's do that. I should do my best. Okay. Good. So who is the artist? Chef. So we don't know, not out of those two houses. So maybe in one of these. Alright, let's begin the inquiry. So penitence needs to... So one of you two is going to be penitent. Let's check you. Ignorance. Okay. So that would mean that you're probably penitent, right? Let's begin an inquiry into you and find out advice. Disobedient. A little forgetful, that's all. Right, so we're going to appoint you as an advisor. I'll give you a real salt of the earth advice if you want it. Next on to the Blackbourne estate. So anyone who seems to be an artist. Giving, soft and soothing, bright child, pet Labrador, brain damage, good questions, meditation. So none of those, but you're full of fervor. Okay, we need obedience. So you possibly, let's begin. See, we need to give ourselves another person that we can maybe get rid of. This family seems like a good target for that. So we can inquiry on you. Or advice. Disobedient. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Okay. Then begin an inquiry on you. Unrepentant. Why do you ask? Okay. So now we could choose one of you two. But we did have a swindler. Before. Right, well, point and advisor, we're gonna make it you. Still searching for the artist. Could be him. Blushes easily. Okay. So I want to inquire about you twice. So let's start with a virtue. There's beauty and order. Okay. And undisciplined. I won't lapse again. Right, so we're going to use you as an advisor. Whatever you wish, Your Excellency, I'm yours. Okay. So we have everyone appointed. So again, we got to increase ignorance and obedience and a little bit of penitence. And if we lose some discipline fervor for that, that's okay. We didn't find the artist. Let's begin the season. Maybe that guy that we interrogated was the artist, possibly. Okay, so June. Right, so we have 3 people to pick. So we need ignorance, we need obedience, and penitence. So we're going to start with those 3. Yeah. Begin the month. Book burns. Dusha discovered a cache of old world books. They were burned merrily in the town square. Leads the village in memorizing scripture passages. Okay. You notice Dusha's ceremonies aren't as well attended as others. Okay. Lacking in fervor. Oh, we could begin an inquiry as well. Here, I didn't know that. Let's begin an inquiry then. No, she hasn't really given us much to go on yet. So let's keep going with this. Next result. Flagellate sinners. Casimir whipped the sinful with purifying joy until their tears and blood took the earth. Good penitence up. Casimir's behavior has an unknown impact on the community. Okay. Vice. When asked about sins, Casimir shrugged and changed the subject. Right. Let's do that. Ignorance. I don't know about that. Okay. So we have a bit more. That should give us more on that next time. With the next result. Investigate heresy. Andre interrogated townspeople who seen the few parents conspired to hide children from the ritual. Cherno Boggs will guides Andre. Obedience was 4. Okay. Andre follows your every suggestion. When asked about sin, Andre shrugs and changes the subject. Okay. Next one. Okay, so 3 satisfied and 2 neutral, so we're going to go those 2 again, and I think you. Actually, no, we've got to go with you for obedience, right? Yeah. Let's finish those results. On to July. So 1, 2, and 3. So these 2 will drop a little, but we can afford that at the moment. Although ignorance, we may have to put some more in at the end. Okay. Hang on, did we not give you anything yet? We may not have given you anything yet. Oh no. No, I think we did. You're obedient. Yeah, we did that already. Okay. Build the monuments, urge the labourers, etc. Room to be full of fervour. That's good. Bogdan's behaviour has an unknown impact. Okay, so let's find out about your vice. Undisciplined. Okay. Next result. Ooh. Granted forgiveness to sinners without punishment, causing confusion and dismay. Penitence -1. Leads the village in memorizing scripture passages. When asked about sin, shrugs and changes. Okay. So let's inquire about your voice a bit more. Stubborn. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. So you are someone that we have to keep an eye on. You could be the sacrifice. Andre interrogated the townspeople. It seems a few. Okay, so +4 again. Good obedience. But not great on penitence. Okay, so penitence is going down again. House leader reactions. So yeah, this one we really need to work on. So you have to go again. So who do we want to? Yeah, we've got to find someone that's going to have to be sacrificed. So you are going in, even though we can't really afford, because you're not doing a great job. But we need to try and expose you. Then we need to up our obedience, so you're going to go in, even though you're disciplined as well. And go there. And let's begin that one. Okay, confiscate goods is good. Virtue doing well. Your vice not so well. Okay, let's begin the quarry there. I was just holding those funds. Oh, are you a swindler? Oh, he might be a swindler. He's an embezzler, yeah. So he has to go. He's a sinner. He's got to go. Okay, flagellate, not working all that great. Again, we're down. Not down as far as we were last time, but still, penitence is a problem. Okay, so dutifully whip the sinful adhering to the rites of penitence, +3, but -3 here for your vice. Okay, so let's begin an inquiry. Oh, we can't. Okay. So let's leave that for now then. Let's go to the next result. Investigate heresy. Andre interrogate townspeople. Okay. Obedience up. But then that's gotta be penitence, right? Down to 4. Wow. Let's begin an inquiry. You're a weasel. Weasel, minor vice. Okay. It's a minor vice. It's not a sin. Okay. So in terms of, you're just about neutral. We've got to keep you guys sweet. And everyone else is satisfied. Okay. Finish that. The season end draws near. A sacrifice must be made to protect the village. Right. I think we know who's going to be the embezzler. Even though you did a decent job at everything else. Major vice. Okay, you're the sinner. It's got to be you. Villagers who trust Velen's reputation will feel conflict and loss of obedience. The village will be inspired to greater discipline through the purging of the sinner. House Caldwell will grudgingly submit to my decision. Okay, so let's sacrifice you. So we got rid of an embezzler now. We sacrificed the life of Valen in the name of Chernobog and the good of our people. Our condolences to House Cadwell. House Cadwell solemnly mourns Valen. House Cadwell approval -30. Other House approval +5. The villagers praise Chernobog for ridding their community of a blighted soul. Okay, discipline +10. Obedience -10. Discipline, yeah. Okay. So obedience. Penitence, we've really got to do something about that now. There are fewer and fewer confessions made. I must encourage penitence by the end of the season. Criminals and rebels talk openly of rebellion. I must enforce obedience by the end of the season. Yeah, so those two. Spiritual contagions are spreading among the villagers, causing them to behave abnormally. I have decided to unseal the old tower to confine and purify the affected. Oh, interesting. Oh, there's the tower now, okay. The tower is now unsealed. I can use its vaults to examine and purify citizens. Oh, nice. No citizens are currently confined. Okay, but we can do so. We have a new letter. Okay, after the encounter with the outsider, educator Iosefka suggests she send all of her boats to search for his supposed island of bones. There could be valuable resources or other survivors. Exploration is forbidden. Outsiders are heretics. This cannot be interfered with their duties. Search as best you can. Our Lord wishes us to survive. Yeah, let's do that one. The adjudicator sends all of her best fishers to search. They return shaking. They report a glimpse of a pale, glinting spine bigger than their boats, but it's submerged as they approach. The village sings glory to the gods beneath the waves. Okay, so ignorance -7, fervor +15. Okay. Now, do come in and sit down. Thank you. Right, so let's begin some inquiries. Let's inquire. So you guys are ignorance, so those two are kind of important. Let's inquire about your vice. You're unrepentant. You're a weasel. A minor vice. Okay. So appoint an advisor. Let's choose her. So we will lose some fervor, but fervor is doing okay. How do we put citizens in here? Right, next. I see Sovka. Right. We need... Okay, so fervor... let's inquire about you. Begin an inquiry about your virtue. Penitent, okay. Then let's appoint an advisor. Let's make it you. I should do my best. Okay, next. Everson. Right, so you're stubborn, you're disobedient. Let's begin an inquiry about Scarred. Minor vice. Okay. Begin an inquiry about you. Stubborn, minor vice. Okay, so no sinner. Penitence is extremely important. But nobody here is penitent. Let's appoint... Oh, who? Let's appoint you. Okay, then next, Blackburn. So we need someone who is obedient. You're a weasel, that's minor. Is there anyone else who is obedient? This will be an inquiry about your virtue. You're obedient, good. And then let's inquire about your vice. You're complacent. Okay, so let's... Oh, we can... There. Combine 3 open vault. Let's appoint you as our advisor. This will place a villager in to prevent contagion from spreading. Cleanse any illness. So how do we know if they're ill? Is there some kind of mark on them to say they're ill? I don't see anything, so for now, until I know more about it, I'm not going to use it. We're going to come here. So we got rid of one of you already. You're penitent. Let's begin an inquiry about your virtue. You're honest. Good. And then let's appoint you as an advisor. I don't know if I'm the best choice, but I will try. Okay, and then we shall begin the season. Okay, so there's got to be penitence all the way. Everyone produces penitence, apart from him. But that'll put obedience up there. I don't know how do I get penitence up enough? Okay, we're gonna go with this, see what happens. Okay, discover the cache of all world books, +5. Leads the village in memorizing scripture, that's good. You notice Dush's ceremonies aren't as well attended as others. Okay, let's begin the inquiry into your vice. You're lazy. Okay, minor vice. Okay, next result. Diocese forbidden. Okay, confiscated goods. Right, so undisciplined. Generous. Minor vice. Okay, so you're not getting sacrificed. Okay, complacent. Oh, we can't inquire anymore. Complacency then is a minor one, I guess. Minor vice. Okay. Next result. Right, so you guys are zealous. You guys are just... We've got to put you in next. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, I think, next. Finish those results until October. You 3. Let's begin the month. Okay, arts of carvings. Forever +3. Inquire about your vice. Pervert. Okay, so you're the sacrifice. Next result. Even granted forgiveness to sinners. Okay, so, yeah, you're a problem even. We can't do masochist. Major virtue. Okay, next result. Investigate. Oh no, that's then at 1 now. We interrogated townspeople, it seems a few. Parents conspired, etc. Okay, obedience was 4. Begin the inquiry. You're elegant. Minor virtue. Okay. Next result. Right, on to November. So, here's the problem, right? He's not going to do anything for penitence. Actually, you're going to do more for penitence than him. Let's go with you to get the penitence up. Actually, yeah, we're going to go just with you for the penitence. And then we're going to pick the pervert. Yeah, let's do that. So discipline +10. Okay, let's begin the inquiry. We can't actually. Okay, next result. Reactions. You're dissatisfied. We couldn't do anything about that because we needed to look after penitence. finish that result. The season's end draws near. A sacrifice must be made to protect the village. Okay. Gathering convenes. Who will be sacrificed? The pervert. Uncertain virtue. Villagers who trust Bogdan's reputation will feel conflicted and lose fervor. The village will be inspired to greater discipline through the purging of the sinner. House of Sofka will grudgingly submit to my decision. Sacrifice you. Okay, this is a sacrifice, but this might be game over. We sacrifice the life of Bogdan in the name of Chernobog and the good of our people. Our condolences to House Iosefka. House Iosefka solemnly mourns Bogdan. House Iosefka approval -30, or the House approval +5. Villagers praise Chernobog for ridding their community of a blighted soul. Okay, fervor -10. Why is fervor I don't get. Okay. The village has repeatedly failed to demonstrate penitence. The end is nigh. Yep. Okay. The village rejected penitence, your dreams, howl unendingly for blood until you give your own upon the altar. Okay. So we will view the results, but we're definitely going to play another. The next video will be the start of a new run. Let's see here. Season survived. 0 years, 3 seasons. Villager sacrificed 3 of 30. Major sinner sacrificed 3 of 10. House with most sacrifices. Iosefka. Traits discovered 14 of 60. Villagers awoken. What does awoken mean? 0. Endings unlocked 0 of 7. Okay. Let's accept that. And yeah, so that is where we are going to leave that one. I'm really liking this game. I think it's cool. It's going to take a while to figure out getting that balance in terms of, we've got to keep everybody happy, but we've also got to keep the god happy. And so we've got 5 things to balance for each of those. And then we've got to put dodgy people on there as well, because they're the ones who are most likely to have the major sins, and then we can get rid of them, we can sacrifice them. So yeah, as I said, I'm really enjoying this. Hope you are too, but we're going to end that one there. So hope you're keeping safe there. See you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.